Are you tired of your business, blog, YouTube video, or anything else getting 0 views or clicks? Well, it might be because your posts are not optimized for search engines. Search engine optimization is something that almost all of the internet's most successful businesses utilize to raise traffic, ranking, and ultimately sales. To many, it might just be the single most important aspect of any online business, and I would agree. In this video, I'll be reviewing Surfer SEO and how it helped me double my online traffic. If you'd like to try Surfer SEO for yourself, make sure you check out the link in the description below to get a free trial. Now, let's begin. First, what is SEO really? Before I talk about how Surfer helped me double my traffic with SEO, you need to understand what SEO truly is. SEO, of course, stands for search engine optimization. Now, you're probably wondering, why do you need to optimize for search engines? Well, it's basically because there's literally billions and billions of websites that search engines like Google or Bing have to display for each and every single query. But also not only match those pages with a query, but understand if that page is actually the right page to display for any given query. But the first page of results, with all that being said, only shows around 12 websites, and those are all the links that people are usually going to click on. Anything beyond page 1 is likely going to be completely ignored by any search query. Every search engine also has an algorithm that decides which results show up first, and it's ideal for all businesses to use that algorithm to make sure that their results also show up before any other search result. All the other search results are likely their competition, or even your competition. The algorithm is hard to obviously define within search engines, but it's based on specific intent of keywords, as well as natural language processing and different terminology and sentiment of that underlying content and article matched with the underlying intent of the search. Okay, so now let's get into Surfer SEO. What truly is this service? Surfer is an online software that allows you to optimize your content for search engines using various tools such as keyword research, content planning, content editor, and even the actual search engine result pages analyzer. Trying to do SEO all by yourself can be a huge pain, and Surfer makes it easy to just do all of this in one spot. On top of that, you don't need to be some sort of SEO expert or actually hire an expensive SEO service or agency just to make sure your website also shows up on the first page. It has been proven to work by millions of users, and in most cases, it can at least help you improve your search engine standing. Now, I'm not trying to say that Surfer is the one fix that every business needs. It's not going to work exactly like magic. You actually have to put in the work of using it. However, using Surfer is going to be a lot better for you, especially in the long run, than not using it at all. The money you spend on a Surfer subscription is going to be next to nothing compared to the increase in revenue you're going to see due to the increase in traffic. This service is especially useful to small businesses that are trying to compete with the known brands, which often get the most traffic by default, because they have armies and armies of people working on their SEO efforts. It can help you be more competitive, and it's affordably priced and has personally helped me double my traffic. I don't know what I would do without my Surfer SEO subscription. Okay, who is Surfer SEO really for, and why should you be using it, right? There are a lot of people that can benefit from Surfer. As I mentioned before, small businesses are the prime target for Surfer. And using this service can give small businesses a competitive edge that they would have never even thought of having before. Aside from that, Surfer is for anyone that has any kind of online business or website. For example, if you have a blog, you can use Surfer to make sure that your blog always shows up on page 1 for your target keywords, but then you're also optimizing all of your articles in the appropriate way to get more traffic and rank for more keywords. If you own an online store, whenever people search for a specific product, SEO will ensure that your products will always show up first as well. And in turn, you'll likely get a sale. That's exactly what I did for myself. I have a number of blogs in a number of different industries and for different purposes. I use Surfer to make sure my blogs are fully optimized for search engines. And before I knew it, most of my traffic across the board between all of my sites, no matter the industry, at least doubled. Because of this, I was able to generate significantly more in advertising and affiliate marketing revenue. On top of that, SEO can be extremely specific. I have one blog that happened to be about travel, and every time someone searched for about a specific travel destination, I always noticed that that particular post was outperforming on the first page of the search results. If you know nothing about SEO yourself, don't try to just learn it overnight, because SEO is almost going to be changing today, tomorrow, and every single day and moment in the future. Platforms like Surfer always stay ahead of the curve and update with time, making sure that your methods match with current methods for search engines. But overall, Surfer can help everyone, even if you do not know a lot about SEO or your business is already successful. It's always a huge benefit to have an additional set of eyes and data on your SEO efforts. All right, want to know how Surfer actually works? Let me guide you on how Surfer works in a step-by-step process. Surfer works in a way that you do not have to really think a lot or know much in terms of SEO. I love how they gamify the entire approach of optimizing your content and ensuring that you're using the right terminology and keywords with any given article. For example, Surfer will automatically examine your entire blog post, and it'll make suggestions based on its own optimization algorithm. It analyzes hundreds of web page signals, all of which have their own purpose within the search engine result pages. Using its signals, it'll tell you what changes to make, what keywords you can add, and everything else you need to structure your overall content to perform the most optimal within search results. The main thing is that you still have all the control. You only need to change the things you want to change and add the suggestions that you want to add, but it uses the top performing pages and top performing signals to ensure that what your message is trying to say will actually compete with other people in search engines. In order to process a content editor, you just need to add a target keyword, and what I like to use is multiple other keywords from the keyword research tool in Surfer to have at most 20 keywords processed within one content editor. As I paste those into the content editor, I run it for mobile settings, and my audience is based in the United States, so locationally it is based off of the US. So for example, if you run a blog about cooking, just add the name of the dish and a handful of other secondary keywords, as I like to refer to them as the other keywords within your content editor, and Surfer will make the appropriate suggestions based on that keyword you added. If you sell mugs or literally any kind of product at all, just add the name of the product and your target keyword for that product within your content editor, and it'll help you optimize your page for your product. Want to know how I exactly use Surfer SEO? So let's get to the good stuff, right? So much talking about some of the features and how it works. Here's exactly how I used Surfer SEO to my advantage. First, I used it for any new content planning through the Content Planner tool. I synced my domain via Google Search Console with the actual Content Planner and ran that domain through the Content Planner, as well as selected a few of my top performing content clusters. I input those into the Content Planner on the keyword side of things to then match content that was existing and old with idea generation for new content where I could fill content gaps. From there, I was easily able to edit and create content editors for new content ideas. Off of the domain content planner, I was able to identify my key pages and my low-hanging fruit pages that needed to be optimized to perform better in search. And these are the type of pages that are sitting on 10 to 12 positions in search, in the search engine results. And I really wanted to target those pages to get from 10 to 12 up to 5, 4, 3, or rank number 1 for any given keyword. In addition to that, I did use Ahrefs to identify pages that were ranking anywhere from keyword spot 5 to 15 and had search volume of greater than 500. This helped me identify opportunities where it was actually worth my time to give a full revamp on the existing content. This is why Surfer SEO is super powerful, is because you can use it to break down a number of different ways for both new content and optimizing old content. At this point, you're probably wondering exact kind of results that I got and how fast I got them by using Surfer. The main purpose of using this tool was a travel blog that resulted in exactly 100% and even more than 100% increase in traffic since I started using Surfer. This was already a successful blog that had a lot of content that I worked really hard on. It's not always going to be normal for a blog to instantly double traffic overnight like that. This site actually had a lot of links, a lot of backlinks, a lot of authority on the subject, but had way too many pages that were not fully optimized for search. And so I, for an entire month straight, focused solely on revamping 30 plus articles and at least trying to target one article of revamping per day in order to optimize all of the old pages and then expand on that content and pass additional internal linking to other pages throughout my website. Now you're wondering why Surfer is so great, right? I mean, not just increasing your traffic, but Surfer is not only an SEO service that you can use online, but in my opinion, this is one of the best options out there. Between this and Ahrefs, these are two accounts that I log into every single day. The main thing that makes Surfer stand out is the price. Not only does Surfer have a free trial that anyone can use, but also has a very low price overall. Surfer costs around $29 a month for the starter plan, which is an absolute steal given the return on investment that you can generate. The other SEO services are just as capable as Surfer, but they'll cost you significantly more in terms of per month cost as a subscription. Aside from that, the ease of use factor is something that really pulls me back to Surfer every time. They truly make it fun. The user experience is excellent and the product design is phenomenal. Once I'm done writing a post, all I have to do is really spend 15 minutes on Surfer to optimize the whole article, and I'm done. And I'm feeling good about the work that I've actually put in. Using other services would take hours, and you still don't know if you have a quantifiable approach to your optimization efforts. Surfer saves you time, it saves you money, and it actually generates more revenue. So that's the triple threat in my book. Another feature that I really loved about Surfer is the suite of content editing. It's very well designed, like I said, and it provides a lot of SEO services that other services lack. You can't think of this as a replacement to something like Ahrefs for keyword research or even finding backlink opportunities, but you can think of this as an opportunity for content optimization, on-page SEO strategy, so they mirror and work together very nicely. And so it's something that's a differentiated approach than all of the other SEO tools out there. So what do you want to know about Surfer in terms of its pricing beyond just its basic plan? Before you sign up, there are a few things you should know about it. There's 3 different plans. The cheapest plan, which is what I have tinkered with in the past, it's the basic plan. This costs $49 a month and gives you 10 content editors a month with 20 audits where you can audit existing URLs for optimization, and free natural language processing. Just make sure your text always sounds natural, has the right sentiment, and correlation with top performing competing pages on search engines. The Pro plan costs $99 a month, and that gives you 30 content editors and 60 auditors every month. On top of that, the Pro plan, the natural language processing is also free the entire time. And the most expensive plan is the business plan, and that's the plan that I use. That costs $199 a month. This gives you 70 content editors, 140 audits, free NLP, and it has a lot of other professional features that I use, such as the API. Another thing you should note about Surfer is that slight learning curve to it. You won't immediately understand everything that it means, like how to use the content editing suite of tools, and even the most basic things like keyword research and content planning. But don't give up on that. They have an excellent database of SEO writing capabilities in it, and the SEO Writing Academy. As a person that is technically Surfer SEO certified, it won't be hard for you to learn how to use the tool and get fully ingrained into the tool. So in conclusion, would I recommend Surfer SEO? Is it legitimate to use or not? So at the end of the day, would I recommend Surfer to everyone? Absolutely. If you're the kind of person that doesn't really think you need SEO and you think you're happy with the traffic, you probably still need something like Surfer SEO. Imagine how much more your efforts could be extracted by using a tool like this. If you know absolutely nothing about SEO, sites aren't performing as much as you'd hope, then using Surfer might be your best bet to finally get on the path of generating and building an online business. It's cheaper than most of the alternatives out there, and it's certainly cheaper than hiring an SEO agency. Honestly, I recommend Surfer to almost anyone that's struggling to get traffic on their website. It's getting harder and harder for small businesses to get attention now because there's simply too much content and competition out there. So how do you stand out? You stand out by using a tool like Surfer to compete. For most people, I recommend starting at the basic plan so you understand how to use the content editors as well as the auditing tool, and that'll help you make sure that you also use all of those credits, because remember, those credits expire each month. And from there, as you understand the cadence of the usage of those credits, you can step up your plan from there. But at the same time, if you do need an expensive plan and you know you're going to be producing a lot of content, or even you have a giant content library, don't necessarily be afraid to get a more expensive plan. That's better suited for people with existing content on their site and have hundreds of pages to optimize. You won't have any problem using all of those content editors for revamping stale content or content that was not optimized for search. That's a wrap for this video. Are you ready to start using Surfer? Make sure you check out the link in the description below to get a free trial. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you have notification posts turned on so you get notified every time I upload a new video. See you in the next one, and cheers.